Good evening and welcome to the Marshfield School Committee meeting on Tuesday, June 4th. Mrs. Pazerski, if you could please call the roll.
Mrs. Dargan? Here. Ms. Stetson? Here. Mrs. Reed? Here. Mr. Costello?
Here.
Mr. Greer?
Mr. Greer is unable to be with us tonight. He is on a work trip to Philadelphia, but he wanted the retirees to know that he apologizes and he wishes you all the best. If you could please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please also join me for the Peace Builders Pledge. I am a peace builder. I pledge to praise people, to give up put downs, to seek wise people, to notice and speak up about a side cause, to right wrongs, to help others. I will build peace at home, at school, and in my community each day. Under the open meeting law, informing the public that this meeting is being videotaped by Marshfield Community Media. If anybody else is taping this meeting, either audio or video, please notify us of such at this time. Seeing none, I would just like to welcome, we have an honorary school committee member with us tonight. Miss Evie Campbell is going to be sitting here with us. She will probably be very mad at me that I just gave her some attention. So welcome, Evie, to the table. This is always one of our very favorite meetings, where we get to recognize our retirees after so many long and dedicated careers devoted to Marshfield Public Schools. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Granatino, who, unlike other years, is a retiree himself this year, and we'll certainly be recognizing him. But go ahead, Mr. Granatino, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, this is a fun night, and I know many of our retirees, some could not make it. Some have retired throughout the year, and they might already be off to faraway lands, so they couldn't be here tonight. Others just had conflicts. But we have, I think, about 7 or 8 that are here, and I'm going to read each name of our retiree with a little synopsis of what they've done. And if you're here when I call your name, I'm going to embarrass you and ask you to stand up, because these people embarrass me enough all the time, and I'm sure they'll embarrass me later, so I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. So, that being said, and then once I read off a little summary of what you've done, you're going to come up here, and it's going to be a bowl up here that the school committee will be giving to you. And we'll maybe have a little photo in front of our nice 1-year-old banner now.
Nice.
All right. So going to have the, are they in order? Or are these again? Okay. First up, Principal Maureen Cabot. Ms. Cabot has been employed by the Marshfield Public Schools since 2012. I apologize. Our microphones are not working tonight, so that's not going to be yes. Since 2012, we'll be retiring at the end of the school year. She served 5 years in the role of assistant principal at the Marshfield Middle School. After being awarded the assistant principal of the year from Massachusetts in 2016 by the MSSAA, she was named principal at the first program, taking the place of Dr. Pat Sullivan, who moved on to Cohasset in the fall of 2017. In those 7 years as principal at the Marshfield Middle School, Maureen has given her heart and soul to the students, staff, and families of her school. She worked with the team to reorganize clusters, instituted new course offerings, placing an emphasis on revamped instructional strategies in the classroom, and continuously worked at creating a sound school climate and culture. Principal Kevin loved what she did every day and was a tremendous supporter of the concept that all means all, and she made sure that in her school, every student belonged. Ms. Kevin is a caring, compassionate, and dedicated educator who did so much for the Marshfield Public Schools in the 12 years with us. Her career of education touched 5 separate decades. You got that right. I know. And she left an indelible mark on thousands of students she conquered throughout her career. She will be missed. And don't worry, we'll have a big group shot of all the retirees that are here as well. Yeah. Okay. Next up, Mr. John Farrell. Mr. Farrell has taught both grades 7 and 8 Spanish at Marshfield Middle School for 26 years. Over the past decade or so, he has also led the World Language Department as the coordinator. His passion for language acquisition and culture has helped create a solid foundation of learning another language for hundreds of Marshfield students as he has provided his students incredible learning experiences that have challenged them to grow as learners. Best of luck in your retirement, Mr. Farah. Next up, Mr. Richard Wheaton. Our school committee member designee, Ms. Evie Campbell, will be helping us.
I was hoping.
There are no words to describe the impact that Mr. Wheaton has had on the children at the MES. With his constant enthusiasm and dedication, he instilled a love for physical activity in every student. Beyond teaching sportsmanship and teamwork, he served as a positive role model and mentor, creating a nurturing environment where every student felt valued. Every single student at MES has loved PE. No one, students, teachers, and parents, wants to see him leave because there's nobody else like him. PE will never be the same without Mr. Wheaton. Congratulations.
Stay with me. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right.
Mark's in the back.
Right here, right in the middle.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Tears from Mark's in the back.
I was going to say, the waterworks have opened up with Ms. Camp, with Ms. Stetson. All right. Next up, also from the MES, Ms. Celeste Carl. Celeste has been a huge support for students and families and staff. Her insightful assessments, emphatic counseling, and advocacy have helped countless students to overcome obstacles and succeed academically, socially, and emotionally. Even more importantly, her kindness and understanding has added so much to the positive climate and culture of the school. We wish her a retirement filled with joy, fulfillment, and well-deserved relaxation. And thank her for touching so many lives. Thank you. All right, next up we have Ms. Christine Petrano. Christine, there she is. She's also a special education teacher at the MES. Mrs. Petrano's kindness and thoughtfulness radiated through each and every one of her interactions with both students and staff. Her compassion and empathy made a mark in our school, as well as the other MPSD schools where she also worked. She's not only reached her students academically, but also touched the hearts of all who had the privilege of knowing her. She will be greatly missed. Thank you very much. Nice job. There's some guy named Granatino here, but I'll pass on that one. Ms. Roberta Wills is in the house. Joni has left me so much information that I have completely forgotten to say while I'm reading these names and stuff. Ms. Wills has been with us for 26 years. I didn't say all the years here, so I apologize, but there's a lot. And at the end of it all, it actually adds up to 377 years of service. Not yours, Ms. Wills. Ms. Wilson worked across the district as our certified occupational therapist, but most recently at Daniel Webster. And we are grateful for Ms. Roberta Wills' 26 years of dedicated service as a certified occupational therapy assistant. Her kindness, caring nature, and exceptional ability to work with students across various schools and settings, including pre-K, Daniel Webster, and Governor Winslow, have left a lasting impact on our community. Ms. Wills' versatile support in various capacities have greatly contributed to the success and well-being of countless students. We wish her all the best in her well-deserved retirement. Thank you. Next up is Miss Sheila Bailey here. Sheila Bailey was short. One of our cooks, our cook manager actually from the Marshfield Elementary School. And I'll read through this even if they can't be here because they deserve it. This is on TV and we've got millions of people that watch this at home. Mrs. Bailey has been an outstanding cook manager. Every morning she sends an email to the staff informing them of the menu for the day, and she always adds a fun, positive note or message which really starts all of our days off on a happy note. She's a master at making just the right amount of food, and it tastes so good. It makes our students smile every day when they go through the cafeteria line. Each year we celebrate School Lunch Hero Day, and Mrs. Bailey is not just a hero, but a superhero in every way. And if I believe I'm correct, that she dressed up in the Superman outfit? Yes, that's what I thought. I remember those pictures. So thank you very much, Ms. Bailey. Next up, and I know she couldn't be with us here, Ms. Catherine Hahn. 12 years with the district, but this felt like a lot longer. She just impacted so many people as an art teacher at the Ames Way in the South River School. Mrs. Hahn is a cherished elementary K-5 art teacher with a career dedicated to nurturing young artists. She left an indelible mark on countless students, instilling in each of us a profound love for the world of art. Her ability to transform ordinary materials into works of art inspires us all to see the beauty in the world around us and to embrace our own unique creative potential. Our annual art show is a testament to her dedication and vision, with each piece carefully curated and displayed with the same level of care and attention as those found in the most prestigious galleries. Under her guidance, our artwork shines brightly. Thank you, Ms. Hahn. Next up, we have Ms. Patrice Haggerty. Been with us for 17 years as a special education teacher at the middle school. Mrs. Haggerty has been a special education teacher for 17 years. Her positive impact and dedication to the many students she has worked with is commendable. We wish her the very best in her retirement and thank her for all the lives she's impacted over the past 17 years. I wish she could be here, but I think maybe there's only room for one Pharaoh in the car tonight. So we have Chastity Pharaoh, and then some folks, we knew back in the fall they were retiring, and then some people we knew this past week they were retiring. And Ms. Pharaoh, who after 24 years of teaching world language at the middle school, has decided to join her husband in retirement. Mrs. Pharaoh has been a tremendous world language teacher for the Fernsburg for many years. Her passion for teaching Spanish and her kindness has made a tremendous impact on many students that she has taught over the years. And I know personally that she has stepped up in a variety of different roles in my time here to help out when we needed support, when we needed a little leadership, when we were juggling things around a little bit, and she was always the first one to step up. We wish her the very best in her retirement. Thank you, Ms. Pharaoh. Tell her she had a standing ovation there. Next up, Kathleen Nielsen. I don't believe is in the house with us. Who's been with us for 19 years. Ms. Nielsen, and mainly working at the Ames Way School and the South River School. Ms. Nielsen's contributions to our schools have been immeasurable, and her impact on students, parents, and colleagues will be felt for generations to come. Kathlene's expertise in understanding how the brain functions in relation to movement has not only improved the physical health of our students, but also enhanced their development. Her dedication to helping parents understand a child's disability has been invaluable. She is a beacon of support for families who may find themselves navigating unfamiliar territory, and her legacy will live on in the knowledge you share with staff and families. Thank you, Ms. Nielsen. All right. Ms. Jennifer Kelly. Jennifer Kelly in the house. Thank you. kindergarten teacher at the Marshfield, been with us for 15 years. Jen Kelly touched the lives of countless students with her exceptional instruction. Her magical approach enables her students to become exceptional readers and mathematicians. There was never a child Jen couldn't teach or reach, no matter the student or the complexities they faced. She always found a way to meet their needs. Her deep love for her students, her job, and her colleagues were always evident. Jen was an incredible teacher of the highest caliber, and we will miss her dearly. Thank you, Jen. At the high school, from the high school guidance office, Miss Kathy Cugini, who worked at the high school for 17 years. Ms. Cugini was very passionate about the high school scholarship program. Known as the resident baker of the guidance suite, Mrs. Cugini always greeted students with a smile when they came to guidance. She had a generous spirit with her colleagues and students alike. And if I knew that she was the baker at the suite, I would have been there much more often. So thank you very much, Ms. Cugini. One of the folks who left us after our last award ceremony, most of this year in retirement, is Carol Lee Ford, who for 20 years served as the head of the guidance department at Marshfield High School. In the decades that Carol Lee has worked as a guidance counselor, she has impacted the lives of over 2,500 students on her collective caseloads. As MHS department head, Carol Lee has read over 6,000 names at the MHS graduation ceremonies. And some additional highlights include devoted decades of her life to public education, a multitasker extraordinaire, set a calming tone to the department even during times of stress, led our department with positivity, optimism, and a student-centered vision, and a leader in our school who led our department with grace, often under the radar. She did not want or need accolades, but we want to thank Ms. Carol Lee Ford for her service. We have Miss Stacy West. Miss Stacy West taught world language at the high school for 19 years. Stacy is retiring from Marshfield High School after 18 years teaching Spanish with us. She's a dedicated and conscientious educator. With all three of her children in college next year, Ms. West will not only enjoy empty nest, but also a new adventure working alongside her husband in his business. We wish her the very best and thank Ms. West for her dedication to the students of Marshfield. And then finally, we have Ms. Judy Rossi, another administrative assistant from the high school. Ms. Rossi was always positive and had a wonderful sense of humor. She was very dedicated to the Marshfield High School community and was loved by all staff and students. Ms. Rossi had a knack for staying calm under tough circumstances, or otherwise grace under fire. Known as the J. Ross to her guidance co-workers, Ms. Rossi was always willing to take on a new task and did it with positivity and a smile. Congratulations, Ms. Rossi. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 retirees with a total of 377 years of service. Congratulations to all.
I am cutting in. Stand up. I'm going to sound like a broken record, because I've said it a lot over the last few months. I said it this past Saturday at graduation. I'm going to say it again twice next week at the dedication of the Granatino Early Education Center on Wednesday the 12th at 4 p.m., which I hope everybody can come to. And then we'll say it again at your retirement party. But it's tough to look at Marshfield Public Schools over the last however many decades and identify a more consequential educational leader than this man right here. He has given so much to Marshfield Public Schools and its students and its staff. You are one of the most dedicated educators I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to cry, but I am going to miss you very much. We're all going to miss you very much. This is a well-deserved retirement, but please know, Marshfield education would not be what it is without you. There are thousands upon thousands of students over the last 9 years who owe so much to you and to your dedication. Folks, in the last 9 years, this man has helped secure budget increases every single year. He He's moved our curriculum forward in a positive direction. He's implemented new technology. The list goes on and on about his accomplishments. But again, where you truly shine is your interaction with kids and how much you care for them. Here's an example right here. One of your favorite people in our district. It's going to be a very different experience for us on the school committee without you. Because aside from the leadership that you've provided, I think each and every one of us can say without hesitation, and Mr. Brewer would say it too, that you formed a special relationship with each and every one of us. And that's something that we're going to carry forward long after your retirement. We know you'll stay in touch. So we have been very happy to work with you and very proud to work with you. I will always, for the rest of my life, I will always be proud to be associated with the work that you've done. So ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Granatino. So we'll do a picture with Jeff, and then we'll make all the retirees stand up. We'll do a group photo.
I know. Easy. Get there.
Yeah, let's get a group photo of all of our retirees. Who do you want to do? Why don't you come on right up here? Yeah, let's see. Everybody from there here. Retirees in the middle.
Yeah, we'll take it back.
And I'm also wondering,
Can we do 2 rows?
Nice. Thanks, Kate. Have some chat too.
All right. I'm going to call a 5-minute recess because our retirees definitely don't have to stay for this meeting. So let's do a 5-minute recess and then we'll reconvene. All right, folks. We are going to get rolling again here. And we have some folks here to present. I'm sure everyone will be with us all night, no matter how fun these meetings may be. Before we move into some of our regular business, I have one very important announcement and recognition to make. A massive, massive congratulations to the 2023 Marshfield Citizen of the Year, Joni Mazurski. Very well-deserved honor for somebody who does so much for the town of Marshfield. Thank you, Joni. Congratulations. Very, very excited to celebrate you. I know you absolutely hate any bit of attention, but that even more so why you deserve the honor. I also want to give congratulations to our 2 next presenters for graduating from Marshfield High School this weekend, Addison Brown and Olivia Parent, our student representatives. And we have a new student rep with us as well, who I'm sure they will introduce.
Others are Lily, Lanky, and Kylie.
Awesome. Great. Well,
Alright, so to start off with the elementary schools, first off is David Webster. Last week, the first grade had a field trip to Aquarium. The Friday is Camel Day, Monday is Marshfield and Hat Monday, Tuesday is Wacky Socks Tuesday, Wednesday is Western Day, Thursday is Red, White, and Blue Day. And annual grade 7 field day is next Tuesday. For the high school, the senior class of 2024 recently graduated this past Saturday. The girls lacrosse and boys baseball team both sadly lost their playoff games yesterday. But luckily, the girls softball team did advance to the next round of playoffs. And the class of 2025 award recipients are being considered.
Boys the class. Boys the class.
Awesome.
I'll just add to the Martins, we left up today, they had their field day, and I got to watch some of it, and I'd say the most fun kids were having was, it's left us unfortunately, but Mr. Wheaton's wet sock throwing contest. If you haven't seen that one, that's a good one, right? We have somebody who cleans out his locker, and all his old tube socks or whatever, I hope they didn't wash them. But they're in these 3 buckets of water, and then we try to throw them and stick them to the wall. So kids were having a blast on that one.
That's awesome. Well, is this your last meeting? Okay, so we're going to make you take a picture with us.
All right.
If you want a round of applause. Okay, let's take a picture. Thank you guys for being with us all throughout the year. Congrats, sorry, Tony. Grab models.
Can you just slide that to
Grab my chair. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going to make them speak for 2 more seconds because I just want to ask them what their plans are for next year.
I'm going to Eagle University in North Carolina this fall, and I'm majoring in biology, and I'll be playing hockey for the Highway.
Awesome. That's so great.
I'm going to be singing.
Nice.
You want to be season?
I am.
My daughter's there. Sorry?
I saw your question.
Oh, you got
You'll see them in football.
I'll never play football.
That's awesome.
And they're both amazing artists who had so much work on display.
Yes, I saw it. Yes, awesome.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Do you know what
Thank
drum? Do you know what drum you're looking at? Williams is a good one. Upper campus.
Well, congratulations, Anna. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've reached the point of the meeting for public participation. If anybody wishes to address the committee at this time, please step forward and do so. Seeing none, we will move forward with our agenda. We're going to do the informational at the end of the meeting, if folks are okay with that. I don't see Mr. Raymond here, so I don't believe we have an MEA update today. So we'll go right into the Marshfield Education Foundation update, and we'll invite our friends from the MEF to come forward and let us know about the great work they've been doing. And as long as she's here, it's just an opportunity to recognize Marie Kerman for all of your incredible work on Grad Night Live. It had nothing to do with the painting. That was absolutely incredible thing. You outdo yourself, you and your team every year.
To be honest, you can never tell what Marie's here for because she can be involved in so many things on the agenda. She touches all of them on a weekly basis.
So it comes to like 3-4 meetings a year.
Yeah, we're lucky to have her part of Megan as well. She's a mainstay with us and with her for years now. So Jeff, thanks so much for having us here tonight. It's great for you guys to bring us all up. Congratulations on retirement. You'll be missed, so we're very happy for you moving forward to your next chapter. For those who don't know, I'm Steve Dion. I am the current president of Marshfield Education Foundation. Joining me today is Megan Allison Pope. She's our marketing chair. And then we have Katie Amaro, who's our secretary, and Rick Herman, who is our chair of the grants committee. 2023-24, because the season kind of runs into 2 years, was an excellent year for the Marshfield Education Foundation. We focused our efforts on a marketing push this year, not only to outreach to get new members in the organization, but also to the community for assistance in several ways. One of the ways we did that was we actually engaged with Marshfield Community Media, and we are working with them on a series of 7 videos that will play on both our website and Marshfield Community Media's website. It basically goes to each one of the schools and highlights a grant that was selected in that school. It's Grants in the Spotlight is the name of the series that we created. Basically just highlights the educator that submitted the grant and then shows the grant in action with the kids using the grant. We've got 2 completed so far. The rest are actually in production at this time with the Marshfield community. The Circus Smirkus, I'm going to go in timeline, kind of like how we go throughout the year. Circus Smirkus is generally our summer event. It was an excellent year for Circus this year. We had some great weather, some excellent engagement. Volunteers were a little tough to come by because of the time frame of the year. We looked at the challenges that running Circus Smirkus posed, and unfortunately we voted as a group to move away from that this year. We're looking for something else to focus our efforts on, but we did move away from Circus Smirkus in 2024 summer. Last year, we also focused our outreach, like I said, on sponsorships. I'm going to let Maggie talk a little bit about Fall Giving Campaign, which is one of our individual events.
So, in the fall, we run our Fall Giving Campaign. We launched that in 2020, fall of 2020, in response to COVID and so many in-person events being canceled and not knowing what the next year was going to hold for us, and we were not being able to hold St. Patrick's Day race in person in 2021. So we launched Fall Giving as a capital campaign. It was the first time we really ever went out directly to members and residents in the community, asking for their direct support of the Education Foundation. It was received really well. It was a great year and successful first year launching it. So as a foundation, we made the decision to continue with the Fall Giving campaign and making it an annual capital campaign. 2021, we did 2021 we did a big push with businesses as well. And then 2022 and 2023, as things kind of got back to normal, we kind of moved away from the business sponsored push to Fall Giving and really kept it residential and just members of the community focusing on families and students in the school system going out to them. So 2023 was another great Fall Giving year. We raised over $5,400 for the Education Foundation, which could easily fund a few grants depending on what the programs are and that sort of thing. And we'll look forward to continuing with that capital campaign in the upcoming fall as well.
And the other branch of the sponsorships is our local businesses, our corporate sponsorships. We really wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. To speak about just one in particular, Sport Cars. They've been with us for years now. They're our lead sponsor, and I'm waiting that every single year there without question. We did have a very big uptick this year in sponsorships, from small sponsorships to a few key corporate, but Sport Cars is really the main one that's been for us. So as everyone probably knows, the St. Patrick's Day 5K is our primary fundraiser. We basically rely on the registrations for the runners as well as those sponsorships to make that a success. This was a great year, really unbelievable for us. If anyone was down there, you saw 4,000 people packed in Grand Rock Esplanade. From 5 in the morning, people were there setting up until 7 or something, and I didn't stay until 7, and I got out of there. Piece of equipment on, but this year was truly amazing, honestly. We raised almost $110,000, $109 some change To give you a perspective on what this year meant, and listen, the weather was phenomenal, it really was. Maggie did a great job as well as everybody on our team. And not, even though you've got a couple officers here today, there's so many more people behind the scenes that help. I mean, everyone in this room is at the event, there's plenty here. With the big push that we had this past year, we surpassed the prior year, which was $85,000 was our largest year. That was COVID, right? So $85,000 was our largest year up until this year, $109,000. So all this hard work really leads us to why we do what we do, right? And I'm going to pass it over to Marie to kind of talk about the grants and what we were able to do this year because of that success.
So this year we received 18 grants. We funded 17 of those grants. We funded $90,646. And the average grant that someone received was $1,500. And it's interesting, I just noticed that Furnaceburg is already using, they've already gotten their microscopes and are already using that, which is so exciting. That turns around the passionate educators that we have, just get them done. So it's very exciting. But we had some really great grants that we gave away this year. One of my faves was a little teardrop hamper.
Yeah.
And they're going to build that. It's a workshop we're going to build. It's going to be a community build, so all the kids will be involved in building it. And what to find solar, really the trailer for it. So it's very cool. Lots of fun things. Making one of the chemistry teachers wants to do a circuit project. So we're funding Dungeons and Dragons. Such fun things that really help make every single student is touched by all the grants and everything. So it's pretty exciting that we're able to do that. We have a big year next year, so we have to encourage all those educators to get their grant applications in so we can give away that $110,000.
Nice.
Yeah, Marie, it's a great segue right there, right? Next year is the 15th anniversary of the St. Patrick's Day 5K. So it's a very big year for the community, really for the community, for the foundation in general. Anyone that's been involved, and there's so many people that have been out of MEF over the years. Everyone involved over the years needs to be very proud of that accomplishment. 15 years of this organization is just truly amazing. I'm new to it. I think everyone knows within the last 3 years I've kind of ran a little bit about that. I got involved kind of actually did my own to it. I realized how important the organization was to the community and jumped right in. I want to thank everybody here. I know that a lot of the educators are gone, but for everything that you guys do for the community, for the kids, it's truly amazing. You make doing what we do. Like, we're proud to come out every day and raise the money because this is what you guys do and what you do for the kids and the education system. If you're wanting to get involved in the Marshfield Education Foundation, please reach out to myself. It's the Marshfield Education website. Reach out to any board member. We're glad to talk to you and let you know how to get involved. Thank you again.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments for our friends from MEF?
No questions, just a comment again. Thank you so much for all that you do. For me as a mom, like seeing how my 2 children have benefited from the dozens of projects that have come through their schools. You guys have worked so hard and it's so appreciated.
We love to hear the students talk about the programs and the grants that have been funded, whether or not they realize it's any or not. But any one of us here is talking about using the microscopes or spot on oceans or the rock wall that Governor Winslow, and not even realizing it comes to MEF, just stirring the excitement and them talking about it during the days is really
I'll just add, sometimes when you visit other schools things that set schools apart. And I think a lot of what gives us an extra boost and gets kids more engaged, and it comes from MEF grants. You know, as budgets get tighter, you're providing stuff that gives a little zing, which is awesome. And on a personal note, the instruments that were installed at Martinson provide my backyard with a wonderful ringing bells with a ring. And it took us a little while to figure out where that sound was coming from, but it came from MEF, so thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you too. You know, it's a lot of work, and you know, your first year as president, I'm sure it's been a challenge, and you know, you had huge shoes to fill, John Gibberti, but you've done an incredible job. Your whole team has done an incredible job. You guys always do. The MEF always comes up huge for Marshfield students. The 5K is probably one of my 2 or 3 favorite days of the year in Marshfield. My whole family comes down from Boston, from everywhere. They all come into Marshfield. It's a great day to show off the Marshfield community pride that we have, and you guys make that happen. You know, aside from all the money you raise, which is incredible, it's a great community feel that is created by the MEF and by your dedication. So thank you for that.
I've said it many times over, I've been in a variety of districts for my 33 and a half years, and I've never seen an organization like yours. The amount of volunteerism, the partnership with the schools as far as the grants, and then the sheer dollar value. My previous district, if we had an organization that worked as hard as they could, they just didn't have what you guys have. If they were receiving 20 grand a year, they were thrilled. To be able to get close to 100 grand a year on average over the last 13 years, it's amazing. And our teachers benefit from it, and most of our students benefit from it. So I can't thank you enough. It's been an honor to work with you for 9 years, whether it was Rick Bear or John Gibberti or now you, Steve, the myriad of folks. I think Marie, you're probably one of the glue that's held everybody together all those years. But just when one steps down, another real talented person, dedicated person steps up, and that's what makes your group so special. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, round of applause for us. Being here, we appreciate you. Katie, thank you, Dad. I said hi. Okay. Our next agenda item is our elementary handbooks.
Yes. So come on down. This is Jackson. This is Mr. Melton, Ms. Hubbard.
No, we're just joining, supporting.
Joining and supporting. So I tasked our vice principals at the elementary level a very daunting task of updating our elementary handbook. And you know, there's one elementary handbook that kind of encompasses all 5 schools, and then each school has their own addendum that has kind of the ministerial information related to their specific schools. But over the years, we've been kind of just adding in chunks, a piece here, a piece there, with no real rhyme or reason. It's no one's fault at all. Just the way it is. Oh, a new rule, we got to put that rule in there. So things were added to make sure that we were up to speed on things, but there wasn't a whole lot of continuity and unity within the document. So I asked them back in the late winter, early spring, to take on this task, or I can name it back and forth. I remember now. I know that they worked really, really hard. Jackson is Melfi, there appears Gene Milch, Amy Foltz, and Jeff Dunn over at Martinson. All work together to create a new document. And again, they'll go through the nuts and bolts of it. Not a lot of new changes other than just updating things and making it more modern and making it more user-friendly. And they spent a great deal of time doing it, making sure that it was in alignment with our policies. Where they could, they tried to draw some similarities, I think, to the middle school and high school, but obviously it's an elementary document, not a middle school, high school document. So in some areas it didn't fit. But we're trying to have that vertical, articulation between, pre-K up to 12 as best we can. And these folks did a fantastic job, so they're going to kind of walk you through it. Typically in the spring we have our handbook approval at the committee level. We had this one to solo for this week, and then the last one in June we'll have our French middle school and high school up there as well. So the floor is yours, and you can share as much or as little as you like and kind of walk through it. Maybe have some questions, but you're on. Thank you very much.
So like Joe said, we were charged with the task of revising the handbook. So basically we met in our main goals for the handbook. We smaller document than the original version. So we went through and we updated certain topics, deleted any irrelevant information, any information that was redundant, and obviously we wanted to make it more current to now. And again, with a lot of information that we can't change, that has to remain the same, so we have that. And then we added links for any of the policies, whether they're district policies or community policies. And you'll see that there are also links for technology department and health services. And then ultimately, with all of that, it will make the document more user-friendly for families and it's not 99 pages, now it's 3 less pages for parents to look through. And then we shared the draft with the elementary principals and added their feedback and made any changes. And that's what we have.
There's someone who was there with the blockhead was understood. I think they've done a marvelous job of updating everything, so.
Yeah, I think when we first looked at it, we were thinking of changing it, but it wasn't like change, it was more like proofreading it. Because it had an update, so we run into some of the reference to dumpsters. It really was just a process of updating the format and updating the language of it. So that it suited what families need now.
There's a couple things I'll speak to because they were still up to the moment we brought it forward here. There's still some iterations being looked at. One is around the bus transportation policy. So Tom's going to update that in there. And again, the beauty of having the handbook the way it is now, it's been this way for a number of years electronically. Some of the ministerial stuff we can update pretty quickly. It's just more or less sharing the information that's already been made public regarding the transportation process and the fees and whatnot, and have that be part of the handbook. So that'll be added in.
Well, this is a massive undertaking. We know we did a few years, Jesus. We did a whole policy review that was crazy. It took months. We worked with the Mass Association of School Committees and had a ton of meetings about it.
Yeah.
It's just a massive undertaking, so I know what you've gone through. I appreciate it.
What was the pages you started off? You done with 26 now. What was it originally? So there's a little redundancy in there.
90-something pages down to 26. That's incredible.
And you'll see this in our system, was at 919, and
Yeah.
it's well together, but I think maybe folks can't be here, she's at the concert. She really took it upon herself to do some of the tedious at home, linking and all that. She really led the way, and I know she could be here, but she's singing and dancing over herself.
She should. Now I see there's at least one area on page 5, bus registration fee ad coming from Tom Miller.
Yeah.
So is it appropriate to approve tonight?
You can, yes. It's not any new language. It's the stuff that's already been voted on as far as transportation. It's just what Tom put down. So it's not going to change anything.
Okay, there's another one, type of notes on board had.
Yeah.
And then the only other change that I had was, first of all, thank you very much for listing myself on the number here. What are those called? That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Mine's had ribbons.
Oh, it did? The only change I got there is that, lucky us, Stetson and I are good till 2027. So let's say 2024, but we are good till 2027.
That's lucky us.
But seriously, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really great. I flew through it earlier. It's just really awesome. Any other comments or questions? Yeah, please.
And if these are answers that need to come at another time, that's totally fine. I'm not holding you to answer any questions right now. One of them is around the dress code. I did bring this up to Amy earlier, asking if she knew. I know that a few years ago when they updated the high school handbook, things had changed as far as dress code and what you're able to require for students to wear. And what you're able to do if they're not wearing what you see as appropriate. So I was just wondering how you came up with that language, if that's old language, if you guys didn't look at that, because I know the laws have changed and Massachusetts, and that's something that needs to be reviewed. So that's, you don't have to answer me now, just.
So I think we kept it the same.
Okay.
With touching because
Okay.
we wanted the principals to look at it
Yeah, yeah,
and see what, we wanted their feedback on it, because I know it's, it's a hot topic.
Yeah, it is.
So if there was anything we were unsure of, we just left.
You just left it alone, yeah. So that was one thing.
With that, it was always safety, it was always safety. It
Right.
was always, whether it was a distraction or inappropriate. Those things over the past 15 years, I think that's how it was generally stated. I'm not sure if it's a policy that we change or you change, but it's always worked very beautifully that we've gone home.
Yeah, you've never had an issue with
And there was actually some of their group questions that they shared with all the VPs and all the principals and myself, our team here, was that one was one that came up saying, do we want to mirror the high school and middle school language? And I'd actually thrown in 2 cents, you might not see it yet, but I thought that the elementary should be separate. Now, whether it's separate and revised from what it was years ago, that's fine, but I just look at the high school and middle school as a kind of a different sector than
I agree that
elementary.
it's different.
But
I
you
mean,
need
I
to,
definitely do,
you need to, the laws have changed, and that whole, that terminology that seems to make sense to us to know what's appropriate or disruption.
Right.
That is kind of the language that gets focused on.
So I think I would just like to see it be the same across all of the elementary schools, that everyone agrees on what that looks like, in case there's ever any questions. Yeah. And then I also noticed that draft properly is under the volunteer listing. So again, that would just be something that maybe you guys should talk about to decide what that is. And then under emergency drills, I know that I've noticed, being in a parent of different schools, that when things like that happen, it kind of, it's always different, the way that people are notified. So again, I'd just like to see some continuity to how parents are notified and when they're notified when something happens. We had a situation, not that long ago at one of our schools, and there was some question about the notification process. So I just feel like if it's written down somewhere that this is our policy and this is how we do it, that will save you guys some angst in the future. That's all. Just a suggestion. Well, that's actually not even mentioned there, but that's just like an ad for me.
And and you're right, that it's kind of, when we do the drill, it's kind of a two-part communication aspect in the sense that the communication that goes on within the school for a lockdown or a shelter in place is actually completely uniform for the students and staff. But to your point, word might get out from one school to the parents quicker than from another school to the parents, not because the school's doing anything wrong, but they might be knee deep in the drill, and so they might not be able to get the word out until they're done stabilizing the building. So it's a $6,000 question.
Yeah, but if there's a specific,
Right.
say, like, this is how we do it,
Gotcha.
then this is how we do it,
Yep.
and this is how we did it, and that's how it's done.
We do send an email after fire drills and lockdown drills.
Yeah.
I think I'd be blessed not to have a real one, so the notification during a real one, we haven't had it to happen in front of all
Yeah.
our schools. We've been asked to do that anyway after a drill, just let them know that we practiced a drill today or fire drill.
Right, okay. And then, sorry,
Sorry.
I'm
This is important.
Thanks for reading it.
no, well, I did what I do, I completed it. Another thing, just from situations being here a while and seeing things that have happened, is the difference between, and this might not be for this either, but just for your own selves, the difference between an at-home matter and an at-school matter. I've seen a lot of times that there's some confusion on where parents and families, guardians think that the school should intervene on certain things. And I've seen when the police are involved in certain situations, that there is sometimes some disconnect between, not anybody's fault, and you know what I mean, everyone's trying to do their jobs, but sometimes something gets left behind in the communications with the families or the teachers, and people just kind of don't know, or administration, know where that falls. So I was suggestion that maybe there's something more concrete that not explains on in here, but something just for you guys, because I see that all the time when we get those calls. And I think I just have one more, and then I'll be done. Thank God, it's 26 pages now. Oh, no, that was it. So thank you guys very much. Thank you. You do a great job. Just fine.
So we can kind of tweak some of the things, you know, like Tom, like the transportation, and if you want to hold off on the vote until.
Oh, wait, I know what it is. I do have one more, I'm sorry.
Okay, but that's right. That's all yours.
Gym, appropriate clothes for gym.
Physical education.
Sorry, physical education. Gym, I'm showing my gym class.
Will be upset with me.
I'm sorry, he won't be mad at me. Gym class. This has come up. What happens when a student doesn't have sneakers? Are they still allowed to participate in gym, in physical education, or do they have to sit out? Just for my own.
So it's on if they're gonna get hurt in Crocs, or if they're gonna get hurt in high heels, and all stuff.
Okay. And that's
It's for safety.
for every school?
Sometimes the nurse has actual clothing.
Okay.
So if there are sneakers in that student's size, they borrow sneakers in the PE. I know this would be our PE teacher who is assigned, so it's amazing no problems.
It was really safe condition.
So you couldn't say no Crocs in this
It
bill?
doesn't, no, unsafe shoes, we ask them to wear sneaker shoes during physical education. If they're doing volleyball or something like that, sometimes he asks them to, it's always at his discretion for safety.
What about jeans?
Jeans, I have not seen any.
Jeans?
Visit,
Okay,
visit.
that sounds good. All right, thank you.
But we can, there's a couple of things that we can still
I know.
tweak. And if you guys want to hold up and vote on that, nothing, you guys have to come back again. but
Yeah, no,
we'll
you guys
do that.
are.
We will do that next week.
Yes, go ahead.
For the homework, it says suggested minimum time. Does minimum have to be in there? That are old?
You read my emails, that was one of the questions.
I
Amy Full said we need to have.
I knew you were
a
gonna ask
minimum.
that, that's why I did it.
So, just for point of reference, that language used to be in our school committee policies regarding reading and homework. We took it out because it's really the school-based, the school committee doesn't dictate instructional matters. So it was put back in the handbook, and that time thing, though, per grade, attendance was kind of per grade, was the measurement that most schools around us use are along there. But, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's the minimum.
Just 2 cents.
That's been in there for a while.
I don't like the minimum in there. It feels like that you should have at least that much, but I don't think that's, I don't know, that's up for me.
And there was a question that was made about amongst the group, so we can go back to that.
I think the other thing too that was a topic of future discussion, is I think it's limited policies about needs. I think it's under film still, but it's, I know some elementary schools are wondering if that should change from G to PG.
It's like no gene.
There is, different challenges.
Yeah, every year is challenging for them to find, I believe it's
Okay, that's something we should look at, where the policies are.
yes, under films.
Okay, yeah.
Very nice to walk in.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
yeah.
The talkies.
Awesome.
Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, massive
So much work.
undertaking.
So much
Yeah.
work.
Job well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Yep, thank you so much. Okay, we have 2 agenda items left. No, sorry, we have 1 agenda.
One
item.
year, get the AFS students, exactly.
Yes, it would be tailored to the AFS study abroad. The disposal of ELA texts and materials. So this is a Dr. Martin.
It is.
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Martin.
So we are trying to make room for all of our new EL curriculum materials because they're arriving. Pallets are coming every day. So we are going to dispose of all of the old journeys materials that are no longer going to be used. So each school, as you can see by the spreadsheet, it's a little bit different with an elementary ELA program than like a high school social studies text list because there are so many different pieces. So once these are considered surplus, once the committee, if they will vote on that, we will first offer things to our students if they want to take things home this summer, like extra materials to work on at home. Chances are no other district is using this resource, so offering it to other districts is probably out of the question because it's so outdated. And then we can try and find a kind of like more than words or something like that. That's usually what we do. So, but there are boxes and boxes and boxes. So we might have to do multiple pickups because it's going to be really hard to find at such a location. But as you can see, there's lots of materials. So, yes, so we just need to school vote and get started on school vote.
Sure. Any questions or comments on this?
One question. Maybe, I think maybe it's 1,000%. But do we donate old textbooks to some nonprofit that like leaves the books to kids?
Yeah,
Somewhere,
so
someplace far away.
over the course of the years, we've done different things.
Okay.
Some of those organizations no longer do that.
Okay.
The most recent one is I think it's called which is an organization that has, I think it's incarcerated, former incarcerated students that help pick up and sell. So it's usually, it's always nonprofit,
Yeah,
it's always, so we will try and do that again, or if they don't do it anymore, then we try and find an alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, we can vote on this one then. Is there a motion to authorize the disposal of the elementary journeys text and materials? So moved, Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second from Mr. Hartman. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? It's 400. Disposal of very much. Okay, we skipped over our informational, so we'll go ahead and do that now. I'll start with you, Superintendent Granatini.
Just briefly, graduation. Great job by everybody involved. Analysts, I sent the note out to the staff yesterday, but from Principal Setner and her team to Karen Goff, our guidance director, got to read through all those names for the first time, and Mr. Kaminsky, and Mr. Brenner, and all the Grad Net Live folks, and it was just a great day for our students. We have our members get to give a couple of diplomas out, so that's always exciting. And it was just a real special day for parents, for students. I mean, they're always great days, but this one was just really, really special. So I want to commend everybody there. And the scholarship then as well was another rousing success as far as the support, the donations to the various scholarships and the awards, obviously, but it was around $250,000 to our seniors. 154 new scholarships in 93, 94 awards. Really, really talented group that deserved every penny. Boys and Girls Club are going to be reaching out to folks. They're looking to, they do a before-school program at all of our elementary schools next year. They're looking to do something after school and on enrollment. And they'll be doing that with their K-1s at the elementary. So there'll be more information going on locally, but it's something that parents can opt into. They're going to have the older kids going to the club, trying to keep the K-1s, 25 to 6 o'clock range, 5 elementaries. And I'm not sure what the numbers are going to be, but there's a lot of programs that already run there, so they have to kind of view around that as well. But we had a productive meeting with them a week ago. They're going to be moving forward in that direction. Tom's not here to talk about it, but the high school, middle school has been meeting. The leadership has been meeting with the SROs, looking at next year parking and the drop-off and pick up at the high school, looking at the new transportation and bus schedule and time schedule. There'll be some more meetings with other authorities from the police department. We have our safety committee as well, be a part of that. So Tom is going to talk about that with you though tonight. So we'll keep that information. That's going to be an ongoing process. along. Also, since our last meeting, we had our wonderful internship celebration. Chamber of Commerce, led by my friends here to the right, had just another great year working with the high school. Was it 19 interns we had this year, from hospitals to doing things with their hands, working in schools, doing CT scans, all these fun things. And the kids who presented, each year they do it, but it's like you can all be professors. They were so well versed in what they did, so confident in what they wanted to talk about. And the presentations were all done at the presentation center, 2 days at the high school, and then they had kind of show and tell the night of the celebration. And just fantastic. And decided that those kids are going to want to do some wonderful things. And it was just a wonderful celebration with 2 scholarship recipients as well there. Greatly needed and deserved, and just kudos to everyone involved, myself in the parade. I know Kenny's involved deeply with it, whoever, thanks a lot. I'm missing out on whoever, but it's been at the high school, ran the program there, and did a great job for her first year doing it. So, job well done. And then one of the more fun days of the year, and I know that you folks got to be able to visit our launch day in Green Harbor. That was fun. A couple Fridays ago, we had good weather. We made do with the fact that they were redoing the regular ramp, so they had to kind of improvise a little bit. But we had some great boats out there, and we had some veterans come back from alum, drove us around. Johnny Poe took us around in his boat that he created over his junior and senior year in high school, and people let me drive it for a minute, so I didn't hit anybody, which was good. So that was also just a great day. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Dr. Mark?
Just one other thing to highlight that the students mentioned, were the high school book awards. I was able to go there, but it doesn't choose like the awards team when I was in the reception. But that was just wonderful, and they all had books, and the books were great, and it was all great. Just internally, we have been doing ongoing PD on our new literacy program. All of our teachers got a 90-minute kind of working on the platform, and now all of our general education teachers, our teachers of special education, our teachers of English language learners, and our reading specialists are all getting 3 hours of additional training to dive in. And today was the first meeting of our lab teachers, which are a group of teachers who are going to work over the summer to really dive in, prepare the first module of the school year next year. They will be opening up their classrooms with your observations, they will be leading something, and really being out in the forefront of that work. So we have been hitting the ground running already, and we're not starting to talk. So it's been a great spring. We've got the materials, as I said, and things are
Squad. Awesome. Thank you. Any subcommittee reports? Okay.
Evie, how's the cafeteria? Good food?
Okay, we do have an executive session on the agenda here, so I take a motion to enter into executive session and not to re-enter full session. Is such a motion on the floor? So moved from Ms. Stetson. Is there a second? Second from Ms. Brady. That's a roll call. Ms. Searcy.
Starting, Stetson, great, yes.
Yes, thank you very much, folks. One more meeting to go for Jeff Granatino.